The Bernstein Bears forget their manners. Etiquette for bears. Please and thank you help quite a lot to make a polite bear out of one who is not. There was trouble in the big tree house down a sunny dirt road, deep in bear country. The bear's family's trouble with manners was that they forgot them. Oh no. At first, it was just an occasional please or thank you that was forgotten. Then there was a rude push without an excuse me. Then a reach across the table instead of a please pass the broccoli. Mama Bear wasn't quite sure how or why it happened, but she was sure of one thing. Whatever the reason, the bear family had become a pushing, shoving, name-calling, ill-mannered mess. Silly head, fuzz brain, noodle head. At the table, it was even worse. They were a grabbing, mouth-shoving, food-fighting, kicking under the table, super mess. Oh no, look at them kick each other. Of course, Mama Bear tried to correct Brother and Sister Bear's behavior. She tried coaxing. She tried complaining. She tried shouting. She tried going to Papa Bear for help, though it sometimes seemed to Mama that he was part of the problem. Papa banged on the table and shouted as only he could shout, but nothing really seemed to do any good. Mama didn't like what was happening to her family, not one bit. Something had to be done. But what? The best way to fight bad habits, she thought, was with good habits. Then she thought of a plan. She got one big piece of cardboard and a marker. At the top she wrote, "The Bear Family Politeness Plan." When the plan was finished, she called a family meeting and showed it to Papa and the cubs. It certainly got the Bear's family's attention. The Bear Family Politeness Plan: rudeness, forgetting please or thank you, pushing or shoving, interrupting, name-calling, reaching at the table, playing with food, rude noises, banging doors, forgetting excuse me, or hogging the bathroom. And penalty: sweep front steps, beat 2 rugs, dust downstairs, clean cellar, clean yard, wash dishes, weed garden, clean attic, empty garbage, put out trash. Ooh, so every time they're not polite, they have a punishment. Mama's plan had a list of all the rude things she wanted to stop. Beside each one was a penalty, a job or chore that went with it. If you forget a please or thank you, you had to sweep the front steps. If you pushed or shoved, you had to beat 2 rugs. If you got caught name calling, you had to clean the whole cellar. But Mama, sputtered the cubs, you're not being fair. It seems to me, she said, that you're the ones that aren't being fair to yourselves or anyone else. That's what manners are all about, being fair and considerate. Manners are very important. They help us get along with each other. Why, without manners? Your Mama Bear's absolutely right, interrupted Papa. Thank you, Papa, for your comment, but interrupting is number 3 on the rude list. The penalty is dusting downstairs, Mama said and handed him a feather duster. Ooh, Papa Bear was the first one to break a rule. There he goes, dusting. Said Brother. This looks serious. I think we better come up with a plan of our own, or we're going to be doing a lot of extra chores. What sort of plan? Asked Sister. Well, he said, instead of just being polite, we'll be super polite. Well, please and thank you so much that Mama gets fed up and calls the whole thing off. Yes, said Sister. We'll be so polite, she won't be able to stand it. That's not what Mama was trying to do with the politeness plan. She wanted them just to fix their rudeness. They put their plan into the action. They were super polite. On the stairs, after you, Sister Bear. Oh, thank you, Brother Bear. In the hall, excuse me, Brother Bear. Why, certainly, my dear sister. Waiting in the bathroom. Terribly sorry to have to keep you waiting. Think nothing of it, dear. But it didn't work the way they expected. Mama didn't get fed up after all. And after a while, Brother and Sister forgot about being super polite and were just polite. At the table, pass the honey, please. Certainly. In their room, would you like me to help you pick up your toys? Thank you so much. In the yard, oops, sorry, I didn't mean to bump you. That's all right. No harm done. And it turned out that Mama had been right. Things did go more smoothly once they got into the good manners habit. They didn't even have to think about it. But it wasn't too easy for Papa. He was the one who got fed up with it. It was a little harder to change habits when you're older, and he had to do quite a few extra chores for forgetting his manners. I'm glad to get out of the house and away from the politeness plan, he said as the family drove along the highway on a trip to the supermarket. Manners and courtesy are just as important away from home, especially on the road, said Mama as they stopped at a stop sign to let pedestrians and other cars pass. They help us drive safely. Well, grunted Papa as they all went into the busy supermarket, I think you have too much of a good thing. You've got to have a common sense along with manners. Why, if you let everyone go ahead of you in the checkout, you'd be there forever. And sometimes you have to interrupt. Excuse me, ma'am, he interrupted a shopper, but I believe you have a leaking bottle in your cart. The shopper thanked him for his help. You see, he said, driving home, there's more to life than remembering your manners. Besides, manners are all right for cubs and mama bears. Boink! Uh-oh, he crashed. But we Papa Bears have other things to think about. At that moment, the car in front of him stopped suddenly, and Papa bumped into it. He was furious. Why, that pin-headed fiddle brain, he snarled. Name calling, reminded Sister. The penalty for name calling was cleaning the whole cellar. So Papa gritted his teeth and remembered his manners. And a good thing, too, because climbing out of the other car was the biggest, angriest bear he had ever seen. But that angry bear saw how polite Papa was. He remembered his manners, too. He explained that he had stopped short because of a mama duck, and her ducklings crossed in front of him. Then he and Papa looked at their bumpers and saw there was no harm had been done. Whew, lucky day. As I was saying, said Papa, as they continued on their way, it's very important for us to remember our manners at all times. And I want to thank you, Sister, for reminding me to remember mine. You're very welcome, I'm sure, said Sister Bear politely. So as you're at home, you need to remember your manners too. Say please and thanks to your moms and dads And don't be mean to your brothers and sisters. They can all play with your toys. So remember your manners, just like Papa, Mama Bear, and Sister and Brother Bear just taught us.